Well, hello everybody.
What's up, guys?
Spidey here,
Valor Comic Services.
and
The driver.
the driver. We're gonna let him keep driving. So
It's fun. He needs to focus anyway.
yeah, actually may have one of the guests jump on. We're driving home from the Dallas card show and thought we'd hang out as long as we have signal. So because we are relying on the cell towers in Texas, East Texas and Louisiana. So.
A tumbleweed could also blow us off the road. It's just a matter of time of what's going to happen.
And let us know if you can hear us. Let us know if the car noise is too loud or whatever. But not much I can do to change that.
Right.
Love Texas. Yeah, Texas is great.
A Viking.
And make sure you can hear Daniel. If you can't, I'll tell him to speak up.
Yeah, I'm a soft-spoken guy, so it bites me in the butt more than it helps me out all the time.
With recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speak softly, carry a lot of marble cards.
That's the goal, anyway.
Isn't that what they say?
It's what they need to say. Put that on the shirt.
Yeah. I got enough sayings.
Yeah.
Put on shirts. I don't need another one.
I'll take it from you then.
You can have it.
I'll give you a Marvel card to buy the rights for that saying.
Okay, good. Hey, Pops. Glad you could join us. I know you're always looking for content.
Hey, Mr. Leon.
But don't worry, I don't know what the orientation is. I'm not driving. Last time I did live videos, that was some of the concern that kept popping up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people thought I was driving because I'm on this side.
Yeah.
No, I'm on that side. See, it's flipped. So it looks like I'm driving.
Well, when you get a Tesla, you can start doing that, can't you?
We actually have an employee right now that's doing her lead generating videos in her Tesla.
Yeah.
While it's self-driving, and compliance didn't want to post it,
Mm-hmm.
and she posted it anyways.
Wow.
So she was like, "Get over it. I'm doing my Tesla Tuesdays, and that's when I'm doing my informational drops."
That's awesome.
Yeah. So let's kind of go ahead and get into the Dallas card show stuff. I'm sure that's what has everyone here wanted to hear. And Nornrad is supposed to jump on. We'll see if he does, and we'll carry the conversation from there. But I'll start with you, Daniel.
Okay.
And this is your first ever trading card convention, right?
Correct. I have done close to 30 comic conventions, several as a vendor, the majority of it just being a guest and having a good time. But the Dallas Card Show was my first ever card show. So it was a completely different atmosphere from what I'm used to, because I'm not knowledgeable about sports cards at all, and that was the main focus. So to get around that new realm, it was educational, to say the least.
Educational, that's kind of been your word, right?
It is. If I had to describe my weekend, it's been educational. I got to learn quite a lot in terms of collecting, how to collect, how to flip, and really just gauge the market. You get to see people that aren't used to Marvel cards, what catches their attention. And then you get to have conversations about, oh, well, that's this character. Well, why aren't they in a movie? Well, they're coming. You haven't heard of Nova yet, but he's got a movie that'll be out in the next 2 years, and you'll know all about him.
Yeah. So what would you say your view of collecting was prior to going to the card show?
Revolving around Marvel cards?
Yeah.
My focus was being a set collector and not realizing that I was a set collector. So whenever we had the booth and I got to lay out my collection to show people, I was like, well, I have 5 rainbows. Why do I have 5 rainbows for people that don't like these characters?
So you had, well, and Daniel, I know you, so I can say this, but you don't care about the mainstream. And in fact, you kind of like to swim upstream a little bit.
Yeah.
And, chief example, you're a Louisiana boy who's an Alabama fan, right? Like, that's about as upstream. Actually, it's kind of downstream in the sewer, but that's,
I don't know about that.
Whatever effluent runoff that is. But
my house, we roll tide.
You roll tide, yeah. We're going to stop that right there. But anyways, thank God he's a lovable guy. But you like to swim upstream with your collection. So these rainbows you're talking about, what characters were they?
They were like magic, but not just magic. It was a very specific one where the artwork was done by Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah.
I like to, like you put it, go against the grain a lot. So say if someone's here to look at Wolverine, Spider-Man, the general X-Men, I'm always looking at the different characters that may not be as popular, like Blade or Moon Knight before the TV show. And always trying to find an appreciation for things that don't always get the attention.
Right. And so you got those cards.
Exactly.
And then the other one was Husk, right?
Right. And Husk is a character that I am confidently the only person in the world that cares about that person. For those that don't know, and I bet you don't, Husk is a female character from the Generation X team. So with Generation X, it was a 90s book that came out, and it consisted of Chamber, Skin, Mondo, Husk, Banshee, Emma Frost. It was just a really good 90s thing. The Fox TV channel made a TV movie about it, and that was their claim to fame. Nothing's really come from them ever since. Jubilee was in it. That was their top tier character,
right?
Jubilee. But Husk is just a character that's always interested me since I was a kid. Her power set was cool. She, like a corn husk, just rips her flesh off, and there's either like steel or rock, or there could be a number of different things underneath her skin. So I thought that was always really cool. But it's I'm like the only one that thinks that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean,
no one likes their cars.
no one really does.
Yeah.
And because, you have people who are not into Marvel, so to speak, at least they're only familiar with mainstream.
Yeah.
And they come up to your table, they had no interest, right?
Right. Well, it's a good thing I brought comics, because I brought the first appearance of Wolverine, which is the Incredible Hulk 181. And I also bought the first issue of Spider-Man, which is Amazing Spider-Man #1. Mm-hmm. So that was my talking point all weekend, was people being interested in the comic books and asking questions about that. Which I enjoyed that, because we have sport card guys that don't know much about Marvel other than what they see in the movie. So they see a comic book that they've seen the image before, and we get to talk about it and be like, oh, well, you like Wolverine? Well, here's a card from him. And my buddy Josh over here, he has a Wolverine card from a set called Vibranium you might want to check out. And we had Skindell, who had a PMG of it. And we were able to take that representation from a comic book and then bring the cards and let the sport check them out.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, I want to answer this question from Collection King real quick. How was the show? To try to put it in perspective, there was almost not an aisle we could go down without seeing Marvel cards to some degree.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't a booth that our table that was specifically Marvel, but they had Marvel in the box. And that was very different than the card shows that I've been at in the past, specifically the past times I've been to Dallas. I mean, you can go to May of 2021, where I did my first Dallas card show video, and see how little Marvel there was. And I'm going to have significantly more content around Marvel cards in this content creation. And that's only going to be just like for the first morning of one day. And I'm going to have to break one day into two parts because there's so much Marvel card content. So there was a whole lot. And very happy to see how much the hobby's grown in terms of people being interested in Marvel cards.
Oh, for sure. And in fact, there was one vendor there. His name was Nick. He was a super cool guy. He was a big-time sports collector guy. His focus was solely sport cards, but he had, the blue PMG of Spider-Man at his table, which super rare card, great card to have, but still you had a Marvel card in the midst of all these great sports cards.
Well, and then you had tables that were specifically Marvel or heavily Marvel. That happened a lot. But still, the best deal I got from the weekend, or really the best cards I bought, is what I should say, was from a table that was mostly sports cards. And looking forward to showing you guys that. Oh, yeah, to say notices would be, significantly noticed. Now, we've got a Comic-Con that we're going to go to later in the year. So I'm very excited about not only being in that setting where Marvel cards exist in a setting where they fit in based on the property, but to see how other Marvel type collectors will respond to Marvel cards.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
No, I'm getting pulled back into the back seat from the vehicle. I'm trying to say anything on that.
Our driver.
But it is going to be cool to make that transition and just be in a Marvel 11 field.
Yep. Sydney says Philly Non-Sports Show is definitely more Marvel this year too. I've heard that. I heard that's a smaller show or smaller venue, I should say. What Comic-Con is that? That is going to be the HeroCon in Charlotte. Sorry. HeroCon in Charlotte. June 23rd, I believe.
That sounds right.
Is when it starts, whatever that Friday is. It's technically before we get Spider-Man Metal. So, I mean, we think we're going to get Spider-Man Metal. I'm hoping we can figure out some way to have some of that product at that show.
That'd be awesome to have the group of guys in Charlotte just start doing a box break with brand new content, possibly showing some cards for the first time, other than images that are going to get scanned, right?
Yeah, that would be. Well, I want to be selfish and say that'd be big for me and what I would enjoy, but I think that'd be big for the hobby and for Upper Deck as well. Hey, Ranger Second 75th, how's it going? Any tables available? Honestly, I don't know. I'm not going to put up a table. I did not have a table this time where I put out my cards. I went to hang out with people, make connections, and buy Marvel cards. You know, with the Marvel market being what it is right now, I'm not selling anything. I just think that that's not something I want to be doing. And I like my cards, so I'm okay with keeping them for right now.
Oh, for sure.
You'll be in Dallas in September? September is my wife and I's 20th anniversary and both of our birthdays. So I doubt I'm going to go anywhere Marvel card in September.
We'll just have to keep building and be ready for next year.
Yeah.
For Dallas.
There'll still be quite a few people there, I suspect. So, in terms of like my perspective for the weekend as it relates to the Dallas Card Show and Marvel cards, I definitely had the feeling that people wanted to sell and trade more than they wanted to buy. And, you know, why that is, I think it's because of there's still some people who are kind of afraid of what's going on in the market if you're talking about a big card or, expensive cards. But there was still a tremendous amount of interest in them and people wanting to learn about them. But I do think Marvel cards have not crossed that threshold of where people feel safe with them if they're not already in the hobby.
Sure. Hey, Gingy.
Hey, Gingy, are you at your computer? If you are, you need to jump on. Let me know. Love to have Gingy on.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I think that, I don't think that Marvel cards have crossed that kind of mass appeal threshold yet, especially with, the way. Oh, sweet! I'm gonna get you invited in. Give me 1 second. All right. Hey, actually, can you do this? You have the link.
Yeah.
Can you text it to Gingy on Instagram? But I don't think Marvel cards have crossed the threshold where, people are going to be comfortable spending thousands of dollars if they're not, deep into the hobby. I mean, you got to imagine they're not going to get much cheaper. So I think that's probably a good plan. Hey, Hand Four Letters, how's it going? Yeah, it was a fun adventure. I'm excited for you guys to watch the videos. I've edited most of part 1. I've got a little more to do. I intend to have it up for a preview tonight, probably around 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. I don't know if I can get it finished and edited and uploaded before then, but if I can, I will. And then part 2 will drop a little later in the week. I don't think I'm gonna have a part 3. I think it'll just be part 1 and 2.
All right, I got it sent to him.
All right, so we got a link sent to Gingy Man. We'll get him on here in a minute.
So since he said he's picking up as much X-Men number cards as they can get, smart, because now's a great time to be buying Marvel cards since everything's down. Very smart.
So you said that you were learning, right?
Right.
And that you learn not to do rainbows and things like that if you're wanting to sell.
Correct.
So what is your conclusion? What are you saying you should do now?
Right now, it's just kind of diversify, even though it's going against my nature, where I like abstract characters and things that may not be getting the centerfold of attention. kind of want that if you want to appeal to everybody. It's hard. Like, I can't ever say that people don't love Wolverine or Spider-Man, because that's what's going to bring it in. Even from investing from a comic book standpoint, I have a huge Spider-Man collection. So what I need to do is apply what I've already taught myself when it comes to collecting and investing in comics, and apply it to the same characters within Marvel cards. There's a reason why I went for the first appearance of a comic book, because that character appealed to me. And that's essentially what you're doing with Marvel cards as well, is appreciating the brand of that individual character within the umbrella of Marvel. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's if you're collecting with that excitement of, hey, I might be able to sell this one day for more than I paid for.
Correct.
I don't think that's for everybody. And I kind of get what Ham 4 Letters is saying here. He says, I'm just getting back into the hobby, and it seems like Marvel cards are for grown-ups and not kids. I don't know, any 8-year-old spending $500 on a box of Spider cards? And probably not. In the same sense that there's not a lot of, 8-year-olds buying high-end sports cards. But it's up to Upper Deck to continue to put out product that would appeal to kids and be available.
Right.
And I think they are. While we were in Dallas, Upper Deck had actually, and get me in the camera, Upper Deck had actually provided us with Marvel annual boxes so we could give packs to kids, and they have supplied us with this trading card frame that a kid could put their face in and take a photo with it, and they become the trading card. And so Upper Deck is making steps to have kids continue to be involved in the hobby and, grow with a bit of passion for Marvel cards. But yeah, the high-end stuff, no, that's not happening. Uh-oh. Who do we have?
What's up, G's?
What's up? Are you the real G?
The real G. How you guys doing? How's the show?
Doing well. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, hear you fine, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, because we're driving in the car, so we're relying on traveling cellular signal. So
no worries, man. So yeah, I jumped on 5 minutes ago, so you may have to repeat a little bit for me, I'm afraid.
Oh, we're good. We were recapping Daniel's experience.
Yeah,
cool. The first time he's been to a trading card show.
Yeah, nice.
And he was basically talking about what he's learned, or what he learned in this show. So that's mainly what we talked about.
Right. There are only 3 75ths out there, Chingy, so you and me still got to keep building it.
Only 3? Really?
Yeah.
And they opened up a 75th box while we were out there. Did you watch that?
No, I've not seen anything. I've been too busy working and stuff. But
can y'all tell we're on Louisiana roads now?
Yeah. Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Did they pull anything?
Viking asks, is any 94, 96 stuff?
There was some that I saw.
Yeah, there was.
I picked up a few gold canvases from 96.
And I picked up, it wasn't 94, but I picked up 93 Marvel Masterpiece, Wolverine and Spider-Man, PSA 10s for $100 each.
I didn't know that.
That's a great boy.
That's a great one.
Hold this.
Okay.
That is beautiful.
Oh, nice.
So, show them into the camera. Yeah, so those
so good. So good.
For 100 each, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Great.
Right, we just went into the town of Shreveport, which is where Michael Salter is from. By far the worst roads in Louisiana. Sorry for the bumpiness that you guys are experiencing.
Love it.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I think those are nice pickups. I mean, grading is still $50 a pop, and so to get, and I don't know if you've ever opened 93 Marvel Masterpieces, but they are the worst masterpiece cards for grading.
Yep.
Yeah, every time. So
I
don't know. Like this is Bill Sienkiewicz Wolverine.
Yeah.
There's my appeal to it.
You like it?
I love it, but that proves your point that I always go against
He does go against the grain. That's all right. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Viking. No,
so, question from me, if you don't mind. Like, how was the networking side of things at the Dallas Card Show in terms of meeting other people, content creators, and upper deck things like that?
Yeah, so that went really well. Let's see if I can get both of us in here. Hold on, can I change the layout? Hold on, let me do that. Boom, there we go. So that went really well. In fact, Friday night, a pretty large auction house took all of us Marvel guys out to dinner and bought us dinner. And they could have taken anybody in the room out, any sports card person, any other content creator. But they were like, "Hey, we got seats reserved. We'd like to take you guys out to dinner."
Nice.
And then they did. It was great. And so I would say that was really good networking. We got to educate a pretty large buyer of trading cards about Marvel and Marvel cards and even comic books, because Daniel here got so much knowledge when it comes to that. And then for the rest of the weekend, there was a lot of sharing of phone numbers and ideas and Instagram links. And so I definitely can tell that I walked out with a much greater sense of being more networked around the country and maybe even around the world. But
yeah,
great.
It's going to be interesting to see what comes just from the growth of this weekend in terms of getting to meet everybody and start to build relationships from the foundation that was laid.
Yeah. What's up, Manu? We got Manu in the chats.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Was PSA on site this time? I didn't see PSA. Did y'all?
I don't think so.
I know Beckett was there because you're in Dallas. They're going to be there. But that may be one of the reasons why PSA stays away.
Did I hear BGS were taking submissions there?
Yeah, BGS, Beckett. Mm-hmm.
Were they busy?
I had one guy that I was trying to talk to, and he was like, "I need to go. I got to go put in my submission." So I guess so.
Love it. So
Thanks, Miles. I appreciate that. Gigi Norton's supposed to jump on. He said, "I'll be there in a minute," and that's now.
Oh, really?
30 minutes.
35 minutes.
He's probably eating Kentucky Fried Chicken or something. I don't know.
Right. He's in a drive-thru. So, all good. Trying to think of what else would be useful for you all to know.
So you may have already touched on it, but the general consensus towards the Marvel cards being laid out, on the tables and stuff, was there? Again, I saw the last show at Lanza in pretty good detail from you guys, but yeah, how was the general consensus?
Well, I didn't stay at the tables. I was gone
the
whole time. I didn't set up. So Daniel's actually going to be a little better in terms of answering that question.
It was really well. Marvel Madness MCU, Josh, he stayed busy throughout that whole weekend. He was engaging with everybody that came, and he networked his tail off.
Yeah.
Like people that were coming by would just hear him speak and naturally would be coming to the table. And he had a blast hanging out with people and getting to show them cards that they've never seen before. He loved showing Vibranium. Vibranium got a lot of attention.
Really?
Yes, he does.
Yeah. It was a great weekend.
So another thing that I would say is that definitely more. If you had sealed product, it would move. Like the sealed stuff would go. You had your. I think they were really whatnot buyers. I don't know if they were not, but you definitely had a sense of if you had sealed product, you were going to make money this weekend, and your product was going to move and sell. And I bought those 2 cards that I showed you. I bought another, I think, 8 or 9 cards from 2015 Flair Retro that I'm really happy about. And then I bought 4 Marvel boxes, but they're the trading card games that just came out. But I bought those because there's no other sealed product. There was an X-Men metal box for $900 and for $800, and that was about it.
And there were also collectors and guests that were bringing in sealed product just to trade for cards.
Yeah. In fact, I traded some cards for sealed product.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think you know this, Justin, but yesterday we had a guy come up to our table and he was talking to us, and he brought a 1997 signature box where it was like the Silver Age.
Marvel Silver Age?
Yeah, the Marvel Silver Age box. that contained a guaranteed one sketch card and one signature card from the artist inside of it.
Yeah.
So it was dope.
Who bought it?
No one did. We ended up passing on it.
What did he want for it?
He wanted $650 for the box.
Right.
And whenever we were looking it up, it was going for probably around $500.
$400 to $500. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a fun box to open. You're going to get a sketchograph and maybe an auto.
Yeah.
So. Brian says, how was trade night? Are you going to save that other video? Any other big trades with Dan? There is a big trade that happened with Dan in my video, but it was more somebody talking about it, not the actual trade itself. And no, I did not trade with Dan. He's kind of on a Star Wars kick right now, to say the least. And I'm kind of making fun of it a little bit in the sense that I think Marvel's better than Star Wars. But we did a social experiment. We took one of those signature boxes where you can get one signature out of the box. We opened it and left the signature in a case all night unlocked, and no one took it. We're not surprised. The experiment went just like we thought it would. And then the next day, we actually gave the card. Scandell gave the card to a guy, and you thought he had like a hot potato or a grenade in his hand. He's like, I got to get this out of my hand as fast as possible. I don't want it. And he unloaded it off onto a little girl. So,
no way.
So, anyways, we're having some fun with Dan. We love Dan. Dan's awesome, and we even love some Star Wars cards. But
there was a lot of Star Wars desirability at that show too. A lot of people were looking for Star Wars.
Yeah, no doubt. If you had some of the Topps Chrome where you had the actual art on the card, not the movie screen image, those cards were doing pretty well. Any sketches? The answer is yes. In fact, on part 1 of my video that I'm going to release, one of the first big things that you're going to see is a sketch deal that I was working on, and I don't want to tell you how all that worked out, but be sure to check it out. It's a sketch card for a lifetime.
Wow, can't wait.
Gingy, card father, get a PO box. Can't wait to send you some stuff.
I'm
Gingy,
working
get a
on it,
PO
my
box
friend.
so I can send you some stuff.
I'm trying to get it sorted.
So, guys that are watching, I sent Gingy a set of X-Men metal cards, like 1 through 100, and a few other goodies. And it got lost in translation for over 6 months. One day I get this insanely beat up box delivered back to my doorstep, and it was the cards that I attempted to mail Gingy. So, I don't know. I did something wrong with the international shipping. I don't know.
Wow. It's a minefield, really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Spidey jabbed the curator and the galaxy far away. I love that. You know, I mean, you can't switch it on and off again so fast. Like, are you Marvel or are you Star Wars? What are you doing?
See, sketch Norin. He's into Star Wars, isn't he? He's heavy. His Mandalorians.
I think he's into Star Wars, but I think it's better said that he's anything that's fully silver or metallic. You know?
Yeah.
So was fully silver and metallic with his suit. That he went hard after him, but he has incredible Star Wars cards.
He does. Question from me, if you don't mind. Any chatter around golden auctions around? I was about to do a video actually, but anything from that?
Yeah. So here's how that went down at the show last night. We're around quite a few Marvel guys at once, and I get a text, and someone says, "Hey, those 2013 insert sets sold for $6,900. Did you buy it?" And I went, "Wait, that ended?" And I looked up the guys. I said, "Did y'all know the golden auction ended tonight?" And they went, "No, isn't it tomorrow night?" I went, "Why in the world would they end it on the biggest night of the Dallas Card Show on Saturday night? Like, it doesn't make any sense."
Nope.
And we started checking the auction, and then of course there was some chatter about it from there.
Okay, yeah, interesting. I mean, a great buy potentially, but
yeah, you had a ton of trading card dollars locked up in that room last night.
100%.
With no signal, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, can you imagine?
No.
That's a lot of people you're missing out on with the big bucks.
You got it.
Like, and I actually do like some Star Wars cards. I just like poking fun at my buddy Dan.
So good.
But I think that the green Spidey selling for 168, given how a lot of cards have trended down anyways, is about right.
It's still very strong. Like, that's a lot of money. Like,
well, it's a pretty good return if you bought it for 34 last year and 1 year later sold it for 168.
The Wolverine was a strong sell too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wolverine did 76 or 73.
73, 200, yeah.
So Spidey is still doubling Wolverine.
Yeah.
I don't think it should, but it does.
He does, yeah. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
I think the market is going to always dictate that Spider-Man is going to be like the definitive 1A, because we also have the Wolverine set that's going to come out. No telling what's going to come from that, but I imagine it's not going to be able to touch how quick Spider-Man sells out when it is released.
Yeah, for me, I mean, Wolverine is still 1B in my book.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can say something is 1B when it's being outsold by double. I mean, that's a totally different neighborhood.
Yeah, you're right. And that's just not one sale; that's across many sales as well.
Yeah, that's yeah. Regardless of the insert and type, Spidey comes up on top almost double.
Yeah, 100%.
There's definitely what I heard from the sale was, if I had known, I would have bought that. And I think that one of the things that's still happening with a site like Golden is you do have Marvel card collectors who are not used to living on that platform, are still not set up to even buy on it. Meaning they don't have an account, they don't know how to load money, and make a purchase. We didn't wreck. I still have never purchased anything on Golden. So.
Same.
I haven't either.
Same.
What was the Monster Wolverine green? It was a out of 10 2013 green PMG graded, I think at a 9 or something like that.
PGS 8.5, yeah.
Oh, 8.5? Okay. Brian, I really enjoyed the impromptu live stream. Very cool rips. Hard to believe no one remembered penny sleeves, but someone ran. Yeah, I know. I mean, look, I wasn't ripping my stuff, that needed to go into penny sleeves, so I didn't think about it. But
so I woke up yesterday. No, was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. 6 o'clock in the morning, and you were still live. So here in the UK, at 6 o'clock. So it must have been late there. You were opening something. What was it?
It was fun. The first box we opened was Star Wars Signature Series.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They both had trash in them. They were not good. And then
the Jim Lee Impel.
And then we did Jim Lee X-Men, kind of as a bit of a filler.
Yeah.
Because Josh had said he was going to rip his Vibranium box, and then he started waffling on us. And so he opened the X-Men box, and it only had 2 holograms in it, I think. To put that in perspective, the last box I opened had 8. So that was a bit of a dud.
Yeah.
And then the big box of the night, Scando opened the Marvel 75th.
Yeah.
And he hit no nut gold out of 75, but he did hit his Emerald, which was an angel, and some cool sapphires and a sketch. He had a really nice Bucky sketch, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I opened up some cheap cards that I bought called Marvel Motion.
Yeah, that's the thing I was watching.
Yeah. It ended up being a lot more fun than I anticipated for those. And then Josh opened up his X-Men movie box as kind of, I'm sorry we're not opening the Vibranium. And what a dud of a box. So that we at the end of that we had to spice it up a little bit, but it was not a great box.
It's worth checking it out.
Yeah, if you can't go watch the last 15-20 minutes of that stream, I think you might find it.
Yeah, we'll do. Love it.
So Viking says, I was asking what would be considered a Monster Wolverine card in the hobby. Oh, Oh no, the green is definitely by far the monster, not the 1 of 1. And that's in my opinion, and that's because a 1 of 1. Of course, everybody would like to have that card, but it doesn't fit in a set collector's collection. Like, no one's putting together the 100 or 200 of the 1 of 1s. It would fit in a character collection or a high-end card collector, where the green 2013 fits in the high-end collector, the set collector, and the character collector. So you have more buyers chasing that card.
Definitely. Very, very niche for the FX, purple FX.
And that's why the green Spidey outsold the gold Spidey last year. Now, I will say that there are people that believe that the gold Spidey from 2015 would do better this year if it became available, but the market hasn't been able to test that theory yet.
Well, we also saw that in the market for quite a little bit too, where greens in the X-Men 2020 were outselling the 1 of 1s. Granted, that's a scarcity issue when it comes to purple 1 of 1s, but greens were going for a ridiculous amount in comparison. And going what Justin said, because it appeals to more people across the board instead of one individual aggressively hunting it.
Now, I'll tell you a card that is not good is the 1 of 1 Dark Phoenix from X-Men Metal. That card, really only one person wants it.
Not good.
Not good. And as a act of public service and goodwill, I'll gladly pay a nice price for it just to offset the other person's troubles.
Anyone listen? Come on.
You're a saint. Tell you
Yeah, that's right. I'm just kidding. Not really, but yes. But no, it was a very packed convention. It was not easy to get around in certain places in terms of just the crowd, even the side rooms, the Marvel card guys were mainly set up in the side room, and it was very packed. And then the big room was just, I never saw the whole room. I actually never saw the whole show.
Wow.
Because there was so many people and there was so much Marvel that, you have to stop it. Every time you see a Marvel card, you got to stop and say, is this all you got? Or ask a question, answer a couple of questions, move on to the next table. And because of that, even though we arrived Friday at 2 p.m. and we left this morning, I still didn't see everything.
Right. I didn't even see half of, say if there was 2 main rooms, I didn't even see half of what was in the large room.
Yeah. Michael's table was very well attended, yes, but he had 4 tables. So he did actually have some room to maneuver.
Is that Salter?
Michael Salter, yeah.
Wow. Did he shift much or not?
Say that again?
Did he shift much?
Did he sell some cards? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He also bought some. He bought a 9.5, a BGS 9.5, 2016 Venom and Carnage Battle Spectre Gem, highest graded Pop 1. $7,000, I think is what he ended up trading in cash and cards.
Wow. That's a big deal.
Hey, Kevin, I didn't bring the Non-Sport magazine, but one person did mention, do you know Non-Sport Update? I was like, well, yes, I do.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Were you able to film? We got to see the gold 1/1 Venom, and that was from what, 2017?
2015.
2015. Yeah, we got to see the 2015 gold 1/1 Venom.
Oh wow, I've never seen it.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's been on Instagram a few times. But
is it?
It's been on Instagram a few times.
Oh.
But yeah, it's always at the Dallas Card Show. I've never not been at the Dallas Card Show, and it's not there. The guy that has it is, he I don't know that he's quite ready to sell it, at least at the offers that he's been given. But he's very fond of the card, as he should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a BGS 9.
Oh wow.
Oh snap! Yeah, we love the Spectre 2s, Manu.
one of the best ones.
Yeah, the 2016 that card is
Special.
one of my favorites. Yeah.
Now, with the hologram, isn't the image of Spider-Man blurred into the background of it, where you have Venom versus Carnage, and then Spider-Man is kind of blended?
His face, his eyes are in the background, so technically it is a Spider-Man card.
You need one, mate. Have you already got one? You already got one, haven't you?
I do. I have one.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
Very, very fortunate. So what was your biggest surprise of the Golden Auction?
For me, it has to be the kind of the free retro set. So over 415 different cards. Like TI-22s, quick strikes, stuff that you know, to get Spider-Man graded.
Yeah, so to your point, the cards that I picked up that I'm most excited about this weekend were the 2015 retro cards, and I think I got 8 cards, and it still cost me $750 in cash and trade.
Yeah.
So, but they were Wolverine and Spidey mostly.
Really? Wow.
But still, it's not. Those are not 2013, and they were not graded, and it still cost me that much.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a big surprise for me. Like, I think that's a fantastic deal. I really do.
I think if I had known that it was going to go for $7,000 roughly, I would have partnered with at least one other person and bought those. You know.
Yeah.
So it's really unfortunate that the people that were bidding didn't realize what they were getting.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. I think you are right. So, in terms of like how the show's been,
hey, sorry, one last thing.
Go on, yeah.
I actually made an offer on all the inserts from 2013 Flair Retro back in February for $9,000, and the guy turned me down. He wanted 13. So if it's the same seller, which I don't know if it is, he got half of what he wanted, roughly, and $2,000 less than what he could have had without buyer's premiums.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's mad.
But my thought was, I'll pull out the big characters in a few of the sets and grade those and keep them, and then the other sets I would auction off like 2 or 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let the hobby continue to grow and kind of breathe and recuperate.
Yeah, I think that's a really good segue. So, what's your thoughts, both of you, like being at the Dallas show this weekend, like the future of Marvel cards? How are you feeling about that?
Well, if you look at the growth of it from where Justin was at last year, like where he was saying that it was like a very small area, look where we're at now, and that natural growth, it's not going to slow down. Marvel's still going to continue to put out product. Spidey Metal is going to come out, continue to bring in a new crowd, because you know that's going to set records whenever it's available.
Yeah.
So it's going to continue that organic growth and continue to multiply.
I think the hobby needs to go through a couple of more evolutions, and one of the first evolutions I still want to see is CGC grading Marvel cards, and for the comic community to decide whether or not it's going to appreciate and enjoy Marvel cards with us in the way that we dabble into comic books. And then the second thing is, I think Upper Deck needs to be able to get on a regular release schedule for product.
Yeah.
This 6-7 month delay in between product is very harmful to collectors who don't want to go to eBay and hunt cards that they've been looking at already for a number of years. I'm not saying that we don't do that, but that's not the only thing. We need something clean and fresh and new to look at, to talk about, to energize, to consider if we want to collect. And if they don't do that, then we can't build our money around it. Like, hey, I know that this year there's going to be 4 big releases, 3 smaller releases, and it's going to be one every month or one every whatever the structure is, and plan financially in terms of how we want to go into those sets. And because for me, I don't want to spend any money right now significantly on Marvel cards because I want to be in Spider-Man metal.
I think a lot of people are the same boat, including me.
Yeah, and so that's now affected me since January. When it didn't release in January, and I realized that it was going to be further delayed, and then they broke the news about what's going to be in that set and the way those cards were being reconstructed. It just mainly said, "Hey, Justin, prepare to sell some stuff so you can have more money, and try not to buy too much so you can save what money you have for that release." So I would like to see those two things happen: CGC grade and a more regular release schedule where they actually hit the release date with Marvel card product.
Do you think that it would be more beneficial to have product released every 3 months? Looking at a timeline like that.
I mean, even if it was 3 times a year, I don't know that matters much more than the fact that we can count on it.
Okay.
And that it's product that we want to consume. In 2020, we had e-pack of Marvel Masterpieces, followed by Black Diamond, I believe, which was actually a lot of fun. And then immediately, X-Men Metal physical release. And then later that year, we got X-Men Metal e-pack and another low-end set. What was that low-end set?
Annual.
But we all thought that Spider-Man Metal was going to be released December 28th. And then it wasn't. And that impacted things more than I think people realize. And right now we're in May, and we haven't gotten a product this year other than annual back on e-pack. And we saw what happened with that. What did it last, 2 weeks?
Yep.
So it's May. We should have had 2 or 3 products already given to us, physical and then e-pack. So that's just my opinion. It affects the energy in the room.
Of course. People are itching for product. That's just fact.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get that, because if you don't have product coming to open up, then even from a content standpoint, videos go from box breaks to mail calls, where you're just discussing on recent pickups.
Well, yeah, and not only that, you had a ton of new people come into the hobby, and then they couldn't find any product.
Right.
And it's like, oh man, is it only eBay? That's not nearly as fun as opening up new product or seeing new cards and new images.
100%.
So Brian says, once we get one of the actors to pitch the new set coming out, and if the sketch artists use their likeness, Marvel cards would explode in popularity. Yeah, if someone of great influence gets attached to Marvel cards at some point, we've seen what that's done to other hobbies.
Right.
I'm not a huge fan of it if they're truly not a fan of the product, but it does have its impact.
Well, think about how cool it would be to see Gary Vee open up a box of Marvel cards and then get a genuine hit and be excited about it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and it would have an impact. I just can't say that I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, I get it.
Comes with heat, yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather watch Genji open a pack of cards than Gary Vee.
I understand.
Yeah. The Vault says early 90 grand holograms are sick. Totally agree, my friend. And a cool what if card for Marvel Masterpieces. Yeah, we love those. And then there was a question here about Gambit. What are cool or good Gambit cards? Any thoughts?
Oh, yeah. We'll start with the 95 DC versus Marvel insert set. It's a 9-card set of Marvel characters. I think it's X-Men versus Teen Titans. That sounds right. Yeah. But anyway, there's a Gambit card in it. Julie Bell did the artwork for it. Same artist that did the 96 Marvel Masterpieces. And you can get that card for under $20. You can't go wrong with it.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. There's not many Gambit cards that are not good. The only one that isn't good that I can think of is the low series X-Men Metal.
Correct.
But someone... Oh, yeah, Daniel's repping. He's repping the shirt. Look at that. Spidey hits.
Love it. Love the logo.
But someone asked me today what was the first ever Gambit trading card, the first appearance of Gambit on a trading card. And Genji, do you have a thought? Do you want to guess? Or do you want me to tell you?
1980.
So he is on the first card that I can think of, and I believe it's correct. Is he's in the team photo of X-Men in 1990 Marvel Universe and Pell Marvel Universe.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
It's like a cameo. He's in the back with his face. Not the best image ever, and his name is listed on the back of the card. After that, I think you got to go to 91 to get him solo on the card.
Probably. Interesting.
Yeah.
Fun bit of history.
How do you get one of these shirts? Well, they cost me $25 to go get them printed and picked up. So, you know, if you want to have me mail you one, like hit me up on Instagram and tell me your size. And
Justin, it's time, my friend. It's time. The merch has to happen. You've made it.
No. I don't want to get into business of things, but I like the shirts and it'll help the guy who makes them out. So I'm happy to do that. They are comfortable, yeah. Show them the front.
Yeah, I like that. It's really cool.
There it goes. Cards.
And that image is from the box.
Flair Retro.
Flair Retro, that's right, which is very cool.
And Norn helped me make the Amazing Marvel cards part of it.
Yeah. He's a clever dude, that boy.
He is. What are the big inserts from Spider-Man Metal? Genji, you want to go through those?
Oh, no, I'll let you go, my friend.
Okay. I do know what they are. I just was trying to give you some airtime. Yeah, so you're going to have parallels of 1 of 1, FX parallels. You're going to have the green out of 10 PMG. You're going to have the out of 25 orange, out of 25 orange, the out of 50 turquoise, the out of 75 pink, and then the out of 100, which is really 90 cards, red PMG. And then from there, you're going to have your Z-Force, which is, I think it's 30 characters. They're going to be numbered 1 through 100. And so you're going to have one of the characters is going to be one of the parallels of that's going to be out of 100. The next one's going to be out of 62. The third one's going to be out of 25. And then you're going to have 1 of 1s. And so, and those are going to be top tier characters. You're going to have something called the Rogues Gallery, which is going to be X-Men's Rogues villains.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if those are going to be numbered.
They're not going to be numbered.
I don't think so.
They're not going to be numbered, but they're expected to be case hits.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a short printness of some of them, would be my guess. You're going to have something called the Daily Bugle booklets, which is going to open up like a newspaper. Those are also going to be, short printed and super short printed as well. And you're going to have sketch card artists. Those are not going to be 1 per box like, say, Marvel Masterpieces. They're going to be more like case hits as well. You're going to have platinum portraits again, which are going to be amazing.
Very cool.
In the retail blaster boxes, you're going to get a parallel called the Yellow FX, not numbered, but you're only going to be able to get it in retail boxes. You will not be able to get it in hobby boxes or on ePack. On ePack, you're going to have achievements that allow you to convert digital cards and physical cards into a neon blue parallel and a neon green parallel. You're going to have Planet Metals, like you saw from X-Men Metal Planet Metals, but they're going to be numbered a little differently. The low number is going to be 25 instead of 15.
I think that's it.
A lot of
Comic
meat.
cuts.
Yeah.
No, comic cuts. You're going to be able to get comic cuts that'll be signed and numbered, comic cuts that will just be numbered from the very best comic books of Spider-Man. The only books that are top tier books that won't have comic cuts is AMS 1, Amazing Spider-Man 1, which is not Spider-Man's first appearance, it's just his first solo. And it's got a cameo of the Fantastic Four, if I remember correct.
Right.
And then they're not going to have AMS 129, the first appearance of Punisher, because his skull is still too graphic for children.
What
Whatever.
joke.
Whatever, but not going to have that one.
There's another issue that
There's a few low numbered issues that we're not able to get, but they got the big ones like number 3, which is first appearance of Doc Ock, number 9, 10, 11, Green Goblin, all of those.
All the classic Sinister 6 rogues for Spider-Man are for sure going to be there.
Yeah. Let's see. We're answering the question here. What are the big inserts? I feel like I covered most of them, but I think I'm leaving something out.
Palladium, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Not a big insert, but each box will have a Palladium acetate card. Thank you, driver.
Yes.
Keep the eyes on the road. No purely periodics this time. That will be, if they do it again, that will likely stay in an X-Men metal. But they're not committing to doing that again. There are other things that you can get on EPAC, such as EPAC achievements like gold bullions, converting gold bullions, all of the achievements into a 16-panel comic cut.
And that's going to be amazing.
Yep. We're going to stop telling people about that so y'all won't do it.
Yep.
Let's see. Does EPAC limit how much you can buy once? The answer is no. I believe you can literally buy them by the case. Like, I think your credit card company will be the thing that limits you. What was the price? Hey! All right, we're back.
Sorry about that.
My phone died. So, apologize. And we're actually getting pretty close to getting home, so you guys kind of took us all the way there. I will answer a news question real quick. What was the pricey Black Cat Power Blast card from? What year? That was from 2015 Flair Retro, and it was a homage insert from that set, and it's a really nice card. I'll be showing those off later when on probably part 2 of the Dallas trading card videos that I drop. All right, guys, we're going to sign off. Driver, keep your eyes on the road.
Later, guys. Be safe.
Have a marvelous day.